I think the thing about kids who are reluctant to pick up books, to read, um, I think it's twofold. I was a slow reader. I struggled as a reader, and I think part of it was I didn't care about the books that people were giving me to read. And growing up in the '70s and trying to find myself on the page was not happening. There was Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Phyllis Wheatley, and everyone had been a slave or escaped slavery or learned to read during slavery or like beat up someone during slavery. And it was like, okay, this is the 1970s. Have my people done anything since then? But of course, I didn't know how to ask those questions. I was in the second grade, and I think when finally the books I remember discovering John Steptoe's book, Stevie, and it was a book where the people spoke like me, the people looked like me. They probably lived in New York City, so the apartment looked like my house. And it was eye-opening, and I think, and it got me excited about reading. And then I went on from there to The Selfish Giant by Oscar Wilde, and to Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Match Girl. And there I could begin to find parts of myself in books that seemingly had nothing to do with me. But I think we have to be respectful of the young people and say, where are you in this book? And I think that's the first thing, to get them to see themselves in the literature. I mean, in the book of Locomotion, there are so many kids, Black, white, Latino, Chicano, who live like Lonnie lives. And there's so many kids who don't, but who know what it means to have, been away from someone they love, to know what it means to kind of have this story that you're eager to tell, and no one has ever said to you, you have a right to tell it, as his teacher finally says to him. And so many kids who just have some kind of longing for home, for a certain kind of family, for food, whatever it is, and find themselves on the pages. I think the other thing is, I think if you're a struggling reader, reading can be really overwhelming to you. And the idea of someone handing you a book that's 50 pages, that's 100 pages, that's 150 pages, it's like, where do you even begin? And I always think it's important to give kids one paragraph, give them one paragraph and let them expound about that paragraph, and let that paragraph make them hungry for more. And I think, you do it the same way you do with young people. You give them small portions of things and you let them grow to be hungry for more and more, and eventually they are. And then there are the kids who might not be reading fiction, who are looking for nonfiction, who are looking for poetry, who are looking for spoken word, whose way of understanding, their move toward comprehension is more oral. So, a book on tape is probably the way to go, or an excerpt from a book on tape. Or on my website, I have a video of feathers, and it's kind of a visual description of what the girl is talking about, because some people need that. They need to see the picture in order to understand the words. And I think that shift from picture books to non-illustrated books is fast. All of a sudden you've comprehended something and the pictures disappear and you're like, whoa, I'm not supposed to be reading those anymore. And I think it's important, for middle graders, for high schoolers, to be able to go back to picture books and to learn how to read and understand and write. I mean, when I'm stuck as a writer, I go right back to the picture books, because the language is simple, deceptively simple, and it's immediate, and it's not overwhelming. And I think so much of it is how we get overwhelmed.